Hey guys, this is CalNLF with a new episode of MOCTalks, and today I will be talking about woman. Yeah, this mock doesn't really have a name. I've had some joking names in streams, but basically this is just gag. So this doesn't have a very complicated backstory. I was streaming with Larnu and IDS5621 about a few weeks ago at this point. And it was the first time I had really decided to sit down and try building mocks during a live stream and see what I can get out of that. So I was mostly doing jokey suggestions, thank you. And my friend Larnu thought it would be funny to try doing like a standard woman build, because if you have never been in the Bionicle community before, basically on YouTube or anywhere where you don't know that using these pieces as breast armor for women is a very divisive thing. And if you are in the community, then you should 100% know that, because it's definitely come up 100 million times. So I was basically just goofing around, gagging. No, not really. I was just trying to make a silly thing and really emphasizing giving them the nice chest, the sexy, and the big overabundant butt. That was the big joke. The fact that she's got this very tall rear end. You know, the 14-year-old's dream Bionicle mock kind of joke gag. So basically that's what this started out as. And it was really short because I just had limited pieces on me at the time. I didn't have a lot of proper limbs. This is not the version that was finished on the stream, but it got a good laugh out of Larnu when I finished it at that point, and I had fun with it. But mostly because I didn't have a lot of heads offhand that were easy to use, and I just bought a bunch of stuff online and a bunch of Ben 10, Hero Factory, and Bionicle figures. And the Swampfire was among them, and I thought, what the heck, I'll put Swampfire's head on it. That'll be silly. So I did that. But that's not the last thing I did with this mock, because I just as a gag, I extended it. Not really as a gag. I thought it would be funny to re-include it in this Valentine's Day skit I did. And so I intentionally sized up the legs and arms to make it look like a standard kind of basic build. Oh, and originally she had a black piece on the back when I was making this, but I added a red one later so I could make an ugly slap-together Toa Jupe, and thus I added more red through the color scheme, making this the only dark red piece on it. So this mock is not particularly well organized, but there are some funny little things as far as the design. One thing that I thought was kind of interesting that I was just kind of messing around with, this is like the only interesting thing about the mock, is that I used these kind of tiny, I'm not sure how well you could see that, but they're these tiny kind of half extender pieces. Like if you have a 2-length axle kind of thing, this is in the middle of that. It's almost like the equivalent of a 2x1 plate with one stud in the middle for Technic, and it's got an axle there and an axle on the side. You can kind of see what it looks like there. And I was just kind of messing around with those pieces as connectors. Not a good idea for a mock, just saying. These do not stick on at all, and there's no way of making it connect with one of those newer, they've been around forever, but the pieces that go through, because there's no connection at the back here. So you can't really do stuff with that and make it, you can't use this piece for really sturdy stuff, and connecting the arms is counted as sturdy, so that's why these things are going to fall off a lot. And I don't consider this mock good or excellent it's not something that I would animate heavily with, because it's gonna break. But yeah, that was basically that. And then I just, as for the Valentine's Day gag, it was just a silly cutaway where after all of the silly stuff that Callan went through in that video, he ends up on a date with this thing. So there you go. It was just a dumb gag. But yeah, here's a size comparison. Originally, she probably would have been just a little bit taller than Callan, but with the size upgrade, she is easily taller. So she's more of a Toa size, as if that wasn't obvious to see. I guess, what the heck. Here's a size comparison with Nuparu, Anika, So yeah, he's a little taller, and he also is too tall for the frame right now. Oh well. Anyway, that's basically it here. Thank you all for voting. There wasn't a ton of there were a ton of obvious. It wasn't an obvious choice for this one. There were some mixed decisions. I mean, mixed opinions. This guy got a lot of votes too, and so did, oh gosh, Jenkins. Jenkins got a few as a gag. He was another mock I built on that stream, so I'll talk about him potentially. But yeah, and everyone else also got some ideas. Love. And yeah, that's right, Amtrox, who is also in the Valentine's Day special. So yeah, please comment who you want next. I will not be doing these every day like I used to. Hence, I took like 3 or 4 days to get this one out. I'll probably stick to a bi-weekly schedule. I might have the next one out by Wednesday. And who knows, maybe I'll get to a point where it's like a Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday kind of thing. We'll see. But yeah, for now, please vote on who you want next. And who knows, maybe other evolutions of the show will take place as it goes on. Just keep in mind, guys, I love you. This is something really bad I slapped together. Bye!